Welcome to Tough Talk Christian Radio. Tough Talk Christian Radio is for those who want to share and receive expressions of faith that will help take you to the next step in your relationship with Christ. Tough Talk Christian Radio is brought to you by the Tough Talk Radio Network. Now here's your host, Tony Gambone.
All right, welcome to the show. My name is Tony Gambone, and hey, folks, we're here at Tough Talk Christian Radio every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Super excited, as I am every Thursday when I get to do the show. A lot of great stuff. We're bringing so many people to the show this year that are really doing tremendous things for the people out there to bring them to the Lord, to help them find their way through their struggles, to allow them to gain the strength they need, to have someone that is stronger than anything in the universe to lean against and to depend on and have faith in. And so for me, I'm always excited about that. Today we have two guests, as we always do. Jeff Bearden is my first guest, and he's known as the Get Back on Your Feet guy. And my second guest, Celeste Davis, is she's an author and a radio host, and she's committed to helping Christians take care of their bodies, okay, and not just Christians, just people in general. So we have a great show lined up from one end of the spectrum to the other. We're going to be able to learn a lot of things. Before we get started on the interviews, I want to go through some housekeeping. You can find the shows at toughtalkradionetwork.com. There's a list of shows that we play weekly. Tough Talk is an organization that will help you develop the skills needed to host your own radio shows. I know that podcasting is very big out there, but so is time. And a lot of people want to do things but don't have the time to do it. So check us out at toughtalkradionetwork.com to find out how we can help you bridge that opportunity of using the platform of podcasting or internet radio to reach millions of people. Every week on the show, I like to talk to people about what's going on in my world and to see if it's relatable to what's going on in your world. Now, the reason why I use myself is because I don't want to offend anybody or take a side to anything, because if we turn on the news, well, you can start pulling your hair out, and you can start looking at social media. You could pull the rest of your hair out, and the next thing you know, you're angry all day long from the way people decide to present themselves. And so I don't go there. It just gives me a headache. What I like to do is talk to you about what happens in my world. So every day I get up and I read my Bible. I try to read a devotional or two. I try to read a book throughout the day, the week, depending on how my schedule is. We all know that it never goes exactly the way we plan it. We have great ideas, and then life gets in the way, and we decide to make choices differently than we did the week before. But hey, we're human, right? So we're allowed to make mistakes. One of the things that I've learned the most is as long as I keep my faith strong and my head up and know that there's someone there that's going to catch me if I fall, just take the steps to try to make my way through it. It's amazing what I find. It's amazing. And, that's why in my signature you'll see Ephesians 6:7, serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord. Things just seem to work. Now, truth is, that's a struggle. It's hard to do things when things aren't going your way. So, for instance, faith. For the last 2 weeks, everything I read has something to do with having faith. I mean, it could be a Napoleon Hill, it could be my Bible, it could be my devotional. The word faith just keeps coming up. So, we say that the Lord never reaches out and speaks to us. Most of us say that. And it's probably because we aren't listening, or we don't get quiet enough to hear it, or we don't have the faith to believe what we think we might be hearing. So, one of the things that took place with me this week was I had to, my wife came to me and she says, I want to tithe a little bit more money this week. And I was thinking, well, it's summertime, business is off a little bit. Well, go ahead and do it. What's the big deal? I never struggle to tithe some more money than normal this month. Now, after I said, yeah, no problems, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You start going down that laundry list of bills that you have to pay. Now, I can honestly say I couldn't tell you what bills due on what day because my wife handles all that. But the thing of it is, I know that there's bills due on certain days, and I don't know how much money is in each account, but I do know what time of the season is busier than the other. Anyway, long story short, we had to do some things, and we put out money that we probably could have used other places. But you know what happened? Within 2 days, that money showed back up. And how did it show up? It wasn't a plan that I had. It just showed up from things that took place previous weeks. So my point is, if you have the faith to continually give and trust God, things will turn out to you in ways that you just never imagined. And it's hard to believe that if you don't take that chance to acknowledge what's out there, what could happen. You have to step off that comfort step, and not only will you not be able to see where your foot's going to land, you can't even see your foot, but you have trust, God, that when your foot does land, and it is there, your foot is there, and when it lands, it will land in a spot that He can help you through, as long as you turn to Him. Now, a lot of us, myself included, will give it to God, take it back, give it to God, take it back, give it to God, take it back. Fortunately for us, God's stronger. So, His plan is already built. And He'll allow us to do whatever we want to do to get there. But, geez, just think about how easy it would be if we just gave it to Him completely. Look at the struggles we would have to not go through. But then would we learn as much as we should from it all? Because, we're Americans. We need proof that it's going to work before we do it. That's not going to happen most of the time. But I can tell you something. If you try real hard and you give your faith to God and you give your problems to Him and you lean on Him and you don't try to control it, which doesn't mean that you don't take action on it, you just don't try to control it, things will work out. You will have the proof, and then you will be able to be more comfortable in allowing that to be your situation daily. It's worth a try, folks. Everything in your life right now going perfect? Great. It's no problem asking God for anything or praising the Lord. But how about when it's not going perfect? How easy is it then to praise the Lord, to have faith, and to know that He'll take care of it? Well, I don't know about you. That's a struggle for me. It's a struggle, and He's proved over and over and over to me how powerful He is and how He has got me covered so I will not land in an uncomfortable spot. Okay? So it's really important that you build your faith. So I hope this week you'll take a chance to sit down and get a little quiet with yourself and talk to God about your faith, where you're at on it. You can be honest with Him. He already knows. And sometimes when we get that out, it's easier to work with it. So take a chance with that. And when you have that experience, tell it to someone. Help them gain access to it. Tell your children, tell your spouse, tell your neighbors, tell a stranger. Call into the show, 347-989-1363, and tell someone on the air. Love to hear from you. So listen, we're going to take a little break here. Make sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, all the social media sites. Just type in Tough Talk Radio Network, Tony Gambone. We'll come up. We'd love to make the connection with you. You can be a guest on this show by going to toughtalkchristianradio.com. Register to be a guest and pick a time that's available for you, that's convenient as well, and bring your message to our listeners. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back with my first guest, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Bearden, known as the Get Back on Your Feet guy, inspires today's youth to get back on their feet, and we do know the struggles with youth today. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Lauren Jono is an elite, international certified, high-performance coach, author, and speaker with over 15 years' experience helping clients transform so that they are living bolder, happier, and more successful lives. Through a combination of her world-class coaching program and exclusive assessments, her mission is to get to the crux of your issues quickly and accurately, and then guide you to achieve sustained and higher levels of clarity, joy, energy, connection, influence, and overall performance in every area of your life. To learn more or to contact Lauren, go to laurenjono.com.
Live It Choice, where your imagination becomes your reality. If you can imagine it, it's possible. If you can believe it, it's yours. We get it. You're done with the way it is now. You're finished with all the frustration around why you feel stuck and your life isn't working. Imagine what your life would be like if you could have all the answers and see new possibilities. We at Live It Choice choose to make a difference. Live It Choice has developed a proven process and a series of questions that lead participants to the answers they seek, gaining new understanding and self-awareness for both your personal and professional life. If you're ready to get to the life you want, contact us today. Visit liveitchoice.com to get started.
Did you know that an estimated 52 million Americans listened to Internet radio in the last month? Or that weekly Internet radio audience has increased 60% over the last year, and that more than 8 in 10 people are online from any location? Tough Talk Radio Network is a company dedicated to providing a platform that allows opportunities for guests, hosts, and sponsors to market themselves to the Internet radio media, where they can be heard by millions. To find out how Tough Talk Radio Network can help you, go to toughtalkradionetwork.com.
Okay, welcome back to Tough Talk Christian Radio. My name is Tony Gambone. I'm here every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure to call into the show and join the conversation, 347-989-1363. You can listen by phone. If you want to ask a question, just press the number 1, and our producer will put you up on the show. And my first guest is a gentleman by the name of Jeff Bearden. He's known as the Get Back on Your Feet guy. He inspires today's youth to get back on their feet, stand up to bullying, battle depression, and live lives free of alcohol and drugs through his motivational speaking. So I can keep on going here, but we're going to have Jeff come up and tell us about himself and get all the information firsthand. So, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me today.
It's my pleasure. You know, the Get Back on Your Feet guy, I surely want to get to all that and find out how you even were tagged with that. But first, let's tell the listeners where you're calling in from and where you're from originally.
I live in Las Vegas at the moment, and originally I'm from Amarillo, Texas. So I grew up in the Texas Panhandle.
All right, very good. So I spent 20 years in Las Vegas. What part of Las Vegas do you live in?
North Las Vegas.
All right, very good.
I'm out toward the Eliante Casino.
I have a daughter who lives down that way. I lived for a long time in Green Valley, way before, back in the 80s, actually, before it was actually Green Valley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I spent 20 years working in the casinos there. And so
it's changed so much since you were here then.
Yeah, I left in 98, and I've been back numerous times. I still have family lives out there, and well, it's completely different than it ever was. So I got out just in time. Anyway, Jeff, I know that it says here that you were a professional wrestler for over 25 years, working under the name of Giant Warrior and Tiger Steele. Tell us about that.
Well, I grew up in Amarillo, Texas, where back in the 70s it was still kind of a regional, territorial type thing for the professional wrestling world. It wasn't like it is now with all the WWE stuff where they've taken over the whole world. So at the time, it was run by Barry and Terry Funk, and I went to school with all of Dory Funk Jr.'s kids. So that was kind of how I got to know the Funks, and I was always at the wrestling matches every week, and I just really wanted to be a professional wrestler. So I talked to them when I was getting ready to graduate high school and asked them about being a wrestler. And the first thing, and probably some of the best advice they gave me, is go to school, get a degree, and then call us if you still want to be a wrestler. So I went to school, I got my degree, I went and played professional basketball in Belgium for a little bit, and came home and called them and told them I was ready to be a wrestler. So that was basically how I got into it, and I went out and trained in North Carolina with Dory and with a guy named Dick Murdoch, and they pretty well showed me the ropes and got me started.
Interesting. So doing that for that period of time,